This segment is brought to you by Express Employment, your locally owned and operated staffing company, respecting people, impacting business.
All right. Hello, everybody. It's great to be back with you today, highlighting some more businesses here in the Plata County that are growing in our community. I'm here today with a couple of folks from Crossfire. If you want to introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Deb Koenig. I am the Permit and Regulatory Compliance Manager for Crossfire Aggregate. I have lived in La Plata County for right about 40 years now.
Wow.
I have 2 grown adult children, 1 grandchild. I enjoy working for Crossfire Aggregate. It's sort of a little new direction for me. I come from a regulatory compliance background and a natural resource management background.
And Jay?
I'm Jay Nielsen. I'm the General Manager of Crossfire Aggregate Services. I've been in La Plata County for about 13 years now, and came to Crossfire about 3 years ago, Crossfire Aggregate 3 years ago. I got a young family here in La Plata County, 2 children in the school system, and look forward to working with a lot of the people here in the county.
Great, we can talk schools later, so I'm going into that. So tell us a little bit about Crossfire and the background of the company, if you don't mind.
Crossfire began about 2001 by Ezra Lee, and he had a partner at that time. Ezra kind of started as a young entrepreneur and had foresight to grow and become larger and larger. He began working, I think the first thing he did was working on the Missionary Ridge Fire.
Really?
He had a water truck that he acquired through some family and brought it to the fire, and
Wow.
the rehab team that came into the fire recognized local people, and there he was, and he saw a need for the seeding and reclamation part of the business. As that grew, he provided services to the oil and gas companies in the county and has never been afraid to take a risk and keep growing. And here we are today with Crossfire Aggregate because he continued to see the need and take more risk for us.
So Crossfire Aggregate's a new part of Crossfire?
It is. I'll let Jay tell you about Crossfire Aggregate.
We started out as a division of Crossfire in 2012, and as we grew that side of the business, the gravel side of it, we split off, and now we're our own LLC. So
okay.
It's Crossfire Aggregate Services LLC.
Great.
And we operate as such.
So when we talk about Crossfire, is the total employees Crossfire has is what, 400 in the county or something like that? Is that?
I believe the last count we were close to around 600
Wow.
in La Plata County and roughly 1,500 nationwide.
So that makes you one of the biggest employers. It makes Crossfire one of the biggest employers here. Crossfire Aggregate is a separate company. You've got your own employees. Now, what does Crossfire Aggregate do?
We provide
What is aggregate? I could probably
aggregate,
guess,
sand, gravel, concrete, any of your aggregates to produce concrete.
yeah. Okay.
So we produce sand and gravel products around the county and in northern New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a gravel pit in Nunn, Colorado, and Lamar. So we are on the front range of Colorado as well.
Okay.
But the majority of our business is done in the Four Corners area, predominantly Archuleta and La Plata counties.
Okay. And so you produce cement, sand, other things like that. And what are you working on right now? How many? You've got gravel pits, I assume, then around the area.
Yes. We have 4 gravel pits right here locally, and our batch plant is over in Pagosa Springs.
Okay.
We have a new gravel pit going in on the south end of the county, down on County Road 213 and 550.
Okay.
It's the newest gravel pit we're working on to help service the 550 corridor, the southern end of the county, and potentially the northern part of New Mexico. Looking at maybe having potentially 20 to 25 employees in that gravel pit over time, not right off the bat, but we'll grow into that. And did we have anything further on that?
Yeah, you know, we've been working on this project now for a little over a year. We put a lot of consideration into naturally any kind of impacts it might make to the area. We've I think done a very good job remediating some of the impacts.
Well, one thing I'm wondering, for example, you said it's at 213 and 550, so is it down in the river corridor?
No, it'll be up on the mesa, up
Okay.
above the historic Bonds Ranch. And some of the issues that we felt like we really needed to mitigate was a vegetative buffer along that entire mesa. So in other words, we'll construct back offset from the rim and use that natural vegetation as a buffer for sight and sound issues. We have a road coming off of there which we'll also work very hard at trying to mitigate any issues that might come with that road, dust, traffic. We'll make some road improvements on both 213 and Highway 550 to make them much safer.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for being with us here today. And again, I'm Roger. I'm the Director of the Economic Development Alliance. If you've got any questions about Crossfire or other companies here, feel free to give us a call at 259-1700. Thank you.
This segment is brought to you by Express Employment, your locally owned and operated staffing company, respecting people, impacting business.